So, Emma, we're gathered today for a new investigation, yeah, in English. You can please open your screen and display the term of our investigation of this Tuesday, December the 3rd, the 2024, which will be the APHONIA. And tell me what comes to you, what comes to your mind.
Can you repeat?
Aphonia. Aphonia means is the voice loss, you know?
Voice loss.
Yes, aphonia. The voice loss. Tell me, what causes the
impede?
Impede. And what else?
A false noise.
Yeah. Have you heard about the aphonia or no?
No, I haven't.
Okay, aphonia means it means when you lose your voice. It happens sometimes. Like you're stuck, you know, you cannot even
false
talk.
note. A false note.
It's not a false note. What do you mean by false note?
Like this kind of it's very handicapping.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. It can be a short span or it can be sometimes a long span.
Yeah. And yes, carry on.
It's under control.
It's under control. Who is under control? Who is control it?
Your voice box.
Voice box?
Yes. It's taken over.
It's taken away. From whom? Who is taken away? Who is taking it away?
It can be controlled by external force.
Extra force.
It can be expressed or not.
So I'm gonna ask you, and let the affirmations arrive quietly, right? What are the main causes of the what we call aphonia or lost voice? The main causes.
It could be a trauma, a past trauma that stops you from. And when you come forward to a certain situation, that situation might have been a trauma for you before.
Mm-hmm.
And it just made you it just makes you have no words to say. You're just blocked because unconsciously it relates to an event that happened before.
So this is the main reasons or the main causes. Yeah.
It can be psychological also.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you something about the aphonia. Okay, so it said that the causes of aphonia are often linked to the yes, and emotions are not digested or repressed. Okay,
Mhm.
So how do you perceive a person who repress an emotion? Just observe it and observe it well, yeah, and say what happens. Tell me what happens to this person when an emotion comes, but he don't want to um, express it. Just like well, he blocked. What happens?
Well, it affects the heart. When you
Can you speak a
stifle,
little bit louder, Emma? I'm not hearing you well.
when
Thank you.
you stifle a certain emotion,
Yes.
that emotion can replicate into your heart, and since it is the closest chakra to your heart, you're also psychologically there's some relationship with this, the brains. You relate something to the brain, and the brain blocks the voice box,
Okay.
the larynx. Yeah.
And what do you
It's
perceive?
something. It's something that's. It has to be very traumatic to a point that
Yeah.
accompanied by an image,
Which image?
the image of the trauma,
Yeah.
and it cuts the circuit in the larynx.
So it cuts the cycle into larynx.
Yes,
Okay.
that blocks you from. Sometimes you can't even hear anymore. It's just that it's so intense that it even can block your ears. It's
Mm-hmm.
like as though um, you are paralyzed. It's the event that triggers it. It's a combination of
It's a combination of what?
it's a combination of brain, emotion, heart, and the speech. You just block it, and you can't say a word because it's so intense in the heart
Mm-hmm.
that it cuts your breath, and and it makes like a knot in your throat, a very huge knot in your throat, that it that the voice, you can't utter anything.
So that means it's like the energy is blocked.
Yeah,
Okay.
it makes like a huge knot, and
Yeah.
uh,
On the throat.
in the throat. Yes.
What I mean in the chakra, throat chakra, started like tight.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Even the heart chakra doesn't. It just gets like as though it's been shut, completely shut with that trauma. And so every time there's this same recurrent image that comes in,
Mm-hmm.
it can just trigger this emotion. It's like a circuit, it just and it stops, and you can't even say a word.
You mean the memory when the memory comes?
Yes.
Or,
It's just visual. It's sometimes even a seed would just trigger unconsciously an
mm-hmm.
event, and then the circuit just makes and it just blocks. You can't even scream or ask for help or just have a simple conversation while you're having a conversation. You just stop, and that's no
Well,
more
you know,
words it comes out.
um, like when you have a strong emotion,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
In
it
the
may
past,
it cuts off at times. So the connection is very bad. That's why. Just
but I can hear you very clearly.
yes, no, but not me. Okay, so can you tell me if this phenomenon, okay, simply linked to a strong negative emotions, or it can also happen when there is a situation of joy, happiness, etc.
Yes, when the joy is very intense, when
Very
the joy
intense.
has reached a certain intensity, yes. And when the negative part is reaches a certain intensity, yes, it can just,
Can I breathe?
yes, like as though
Mm.
you're,
Ju- Just
and
that.
then the circuit doesn't go by anymore, and you can't.
Yes. Very interesting. And which chakras are involved? The throat chakra and the heart chakra, or there's another chakras?
There's
Can
also
you
the plexus.
the
That's
plexus
the
solar?
memory. Yes, the memory bank of the trauma.
Okay.
It can be this life. It can be the past lives. Brought forward, and that can trigger it too.
Yes. And if you connect to a child, okay, whom it happens to be aphonic, because he has an experience, he has experienced strong emotions, um, maybe in his family, at school, etc. What happens to in his body? I mean, specifically in his throat.
It's completely blocked. It doesn't function anymore. It doesn't function anymore until um, it's been treated. The emotion is being treated.
Until the emotion has been treated.
Yes, it can stay blocked for some time.
He's not aware.
No,
You know, I've
it's an
heard. Yeah.
it's an
Yes.
unconscious. It's an unconscious effect. Circuit is an
Unconscious effect.
unconscious effect. Yeah.
I don't know where I heard. I mean, I read. Yeah. No, I read. I don't know where that the children who is aphonic or who has aphonia is often confused with the what we call the laryngitis, something like that, laryngite, laryngitis. They
Ah,
confuse. You see? sometimes the parent says that the child has laryngitis. Instead,
That's when the parasites occupy the space. This is why
yeah,
I said either it's an external source.
yeah. Instead of saying, okay, this is the trauma, because the aphonic is linked to the trauma.
Trauma, yes,
It's
but this is why I said earlier that it could be, it can be an external force that's occupying the space. The larynx is taken over,
the larynx is,
has been taken over by a parasite.
yeah,
And that can also cause and they shut the communication, possibility to communicate.
and sometimes also when we swallow um, an emotion without giving ourselves the right to express it, it
Yes.
blocked, right? It's blocked in
Yes,
the throat.
this is why I said there's a big
Yeah,
knot, a knot. You
yeah,
know, it's a huge knot, and you can't swallow it because it's so painful. It's so difficult to swallow it, and even despite swallowing
mm,
it, it doesn't go down because it
yeah,
has like as though it's full up.
yeah, yeah. Whether it's fear or it's fear, or anger, and
Yes,
for
yes,
instance, sadness.
even sadness. Yes,
Yeah, all kind of
all
of
kinds of emotion.
how come I found, yeah, strong emotions.
Yes,
Yeah, because our body has his uh, his own
yes, flight
his
and
own
flight.
language.
Yes, like a flight and flight situation. You see,
Yeah,
it just blocks. It completely blocks the thing, the voice box.
do you have another informations or? Are you there, Emma?
Yes, yes,
Hello.
not for the
Yeah,
time being, not for the
yeah.
time being.
Okay. Yeah. If I take my example, right? A few years ago, when I was very upset, okay, uh, the next day I had like a sensation that bothers me in my throat.
Mm-hmm.
It was like something blocked, just needed to be released. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, but I didn't have this consciousness of who I am.
Mm-hmm.
See, and not to have the ability to pick up the signals that my body was sending to me.
Mm-hmm.
It was like foreign language for me.
Yeah. Words don't come out.
But now,
Even the most simplest word, it can't come out.
yeah,
It's to treat
what
that
what
emotion.
yeah, the emotion can causes lot of um, disease, many disease.
If you don't have balance, the emotion, the parasites can just go out. And you from the plexus, you push it up, boom, and it goes up to the. Sometimes the parasites can do that, just boom, and it goes up to the a contraction because of that emotion.
Yes.
It can trigger the parasites to go and occupy the space of your throat.
This is we can do these exercises, you mean?
Yeah. It's a non-voluntary action.
Mm-hmm. And what can you advise? What, yeah, to people who maybe watch this investigation? Before bringing you back here now.
To digest the emotion, to identify and digest the emotion. And what is the event that's causing this, that triggers unconsciously this state of sensation?
Mm-hmm. And to speak maybe fluently and express.
Yes, by expressing yourself out,
Well,
confronting the emotion and putting the right words will
to let the
dissolve
energy,
the situation.
right,
To be fluid. Yes, to be fluid.
yeah, to let the energy flow, not hold it, not blocked, not do not block it.
Yes, to unblock the situation in the plexus.
Mm-hmm.
It eventually does that to the psychological also. It's a chain reaction.
But it could be available for a person who is not awake.
It can be also for someone who is not awake. Just identify the cause of it, and every time when that situation appears, what happened just before?
Yeah,
To
and
identify it and to
mm-hmm.
treat it and to treat it.
Yeah,
You
breaking
don't
free.
need, yes, you don't need medication for that now.
While most of people take medications for, well, so it's not a subject.
Yeah, you don't need medications for that now. Nothing that you cannot treat. It's
The body has his own language, so we need
yeah,
um, to understand, to to pay attention to the
yes,
signals.
it's just a body reaction. It's a bodily reaction which um, to make you conscious that there are things that to be treated.
There's something wrong.
Yes, instead of just going to see a doctor or something, you can just identify it every time when it comes. That's it, and just look at it. What triggers the situation?
Or maybe carry on feeding the anger and
Yes, exactly.
the,
The
the
emotional part.
sadness,
Yeah,
the
the
emotional
emotional part
part.
of it. Yeah.
Yeah. And what about the emotional and the mental bodies How do you perceive them when you have like this aphonia?
But the circuit is blocked. It
Yeah,
just
there's
triggers
no.
and like as though there's a short circuit.
Yeah,
It's a fight and flight situation.
yeah, and they are not trying to um well to help the physical body by sending him signals or
It's to bring to you to your attention's consciousness to
yes.
treat the matter. As long as you don't consciously see what it is, it will not. It will just be a recurring thing.
Mm. What do you mean if the problem is not solved?
Yeah, there are other emotions that's attached to it, and then it gets bigger and bigger and bigger
Until
until you don't speak anymore.
mm.
Just uh, just go inside, and you don't leave the room for your heart to expand.
Mm-hmm. Well, we have many possibilities to release. Now, do you perceive something else? When I look at your face, you looks like you're a bit worried or something weird happens to
No,
you.
no, no, nothing.
Okay. Yeah.
No, it's a funny situation. You see how the
Well,
connections of your body, your emotions, your mental, and all this, how they are just
all is
interconnected,
connected. Yeah, it's connected.
and the reaction that the body does to you, that's very
Mm-hmm.
interesting.
Yeah, sure. Um, it's like the I don't know in English the chain, the
Yes, yeah, it's a chain reaction.
yeah, chain reaction. Yeah, chain reaction. Yeah.
Sometimes certain emotions can change just your voice from a normal voice to something very deep.
Mm-hmm.
Completely changes your voice, your normal voice, to something very deep,
Yes, yes, yes.
or sometimes even very high pitched. Like as though you have to listen to yourself, listen to yourself. So funny.
That means we need to trust ourselves.
Yes, you have to listen more.
Well,
Get in.
and which the subtle body is impacted the most.
Emotional,
The
emotional.
most. The emotional one.
Yes, yes. And then that's the mental and the
Which
causal.
one? Excuse me, I cannot hear you well.
The mental and the causal.
So the emotional one, okay,
Yes.
and then the mental, and then the causal.
Yeah, the causal and then the mental.
Well, I remember that one day you said you have to always ask the fourth Q something and one C.
The
Do you
fourth,
remember? the 4C, something like that. The 4Q, no, the
Ah,
4W,
the
something.
five, the five
The four,
W's and an H. Yes. What, when, which, when, why, and what, when, which, where, who, and
who?
how, and how. The five W's and the one H. Question everything.
So that means it applies on this investigation or not?
Yes, you can always question why is it happening? When did it happen?
Yeah.
Why does it happen all the time at this particular time? And what
Yes.
triggers it? It's all the questions.
Mm.
And once you get the answers for all this thing, you're already putting your conscious in you, and you'll
Yeah.
see
Sometimes.
slowly by slowly, it just you're draining off that emotion.
Mm-hmm.
You're reducing it more and more.
Well, sometimes when you are facing very hard situation, it's not easy.
No.
Sometimes not easy. Yeah, as I said a bit earlier, we need to
And the
be.
mantle is full also, and the causal is full also, and mental, emotional, the three of them are blocked. They are sandwiched together, and that's when you can't even. That's when you start going to
Facing
the extreme.
difficulties.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's when you get into an extreme situation where you have to either you just go inside like that. You closed up your heart, close
Oh
up
yeah. Instead
yourself.
instead of expanding,
Yeah,
you.
instead of expanding
Yeah.
and treating it, you just go the other way around into which you don't give the room neither for the emotional, neither for the mental, nor causal or the heart to expand
Yeah. It
and
comes
take
out.
its place. Yeah, and take its place.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's strange. I never had that situation to understand how to evaluate
The
how
levels.
high no the how intense it is, the emotion. It must be very very high. Yeah?
Of course. Yeah. 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 Very negative emotions and all the stuff.
And the memory that's imprinted into the plexus solar.
It gets a time. What did
Yes,
you say,
even
Emma?
as I said that
A
the
certain.
the memory has been imprinted into the plexus,
So
and
the
it's just
memories
waiting
has
there
imprinted
to
to into what?
into the plexus solar. You know the
Yes.
plexus.
Yes, of course. Yeah,
Yes, and
the
and
plexus
and
solar.
it just needs a little a vision of a situation or
That means
something.
we
It can
need,
just
the person.
it revives the memory, and
Yeah.
that's when it starts blocking. It's all jammed up. It gets jammed up and on the throat. You can't express yourself anymore.
Is it done voluntary or
It's an involuntary action
an
because
involuntary
sometimes you're
action?
not even conscious of what it is that triggers that.
Hmm. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you're not conscious of it. There are events that you're conscious of and it blocks, that makes a big knot here. But when it is unconscious, it's just you just need a similar situation that triggers that, and you can't speak, you cannot express. Sometimes it's so subtle that you don't even realize it.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah. So true.
all you know is, I can't speak. I just
It
lost the
happens very
voice.
quickly. It
Yeah,
happens very quickly. Yeah,
yes,
sometimes it
in a
happens very
fraction of
quickly.
a second. Yes, in a fraction
Yeah,
of a second, and you can't even speak, and you think, I just lost my voice. It's so strange, and that's it.
and
And you don't realize sometimes even a word can
you
trigger
cannot.
it.
No,
Yeah, a word in the conversation can just trigger that sensation. It's not that at that time you feel that your heart is impacted or your head is impacted, but what's impacted is your throat, because there's a memory related to your um, what do you call that, that trauma. And so automatically the voice box, it just gets shut. Sometimes it can take it for a few minutes.
and it lasts a week.
Sometimes it
Or
can
two.
last longer. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it can last longer. That's right. And it's really strange. Yeah, when you lost the voice, um, it's like it's an image. Yeah, uh,
Mm.
I don't know in English the rubber, like you are rubbering the voice
Mm.
little by little and diminuate
Mm-hmm.
till it cut off completely
Yeah.
off.
Yeah. Oh, yes. The lost of voice. Yes.
So Emma, tell me, does it happen? Does it happens to you sometimes to be
No.
aphonic or no? Never.
No. I never had that
Okay,
situation at all. Never.
really.
No.
Well, me two times in my life.
Oh, I
Two
see.
times. Yeah, two
Yeah.
times. It's horrible, horrible. You know.
And how long does it last?
Um, well, the first time it lasts maybe a week, and
Mm-hmm.
the second, yeah, a week. Yeah, it was horrible for me. And the second time, um, 3 days, 2 days and a half, 3 days. I'll say 3 days.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, there's certain words to be said at that time at a point of time when you put your conscience to it. There are certain words that will heal it up automatically. In fact, it's just like a reverse mechanism to cover up
Yeah.
the trauma. I don't know. It's a kind of what do you call that? Like a contra entry, you know. There's this emotion that comes up, and then it needs something else to just calm it down. You see, and then that it just
Yes.
disappears. Yeah,
Mm. Well,
it's a
the
very
second
strange
time when it
mechanism.
happens, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. When it happens to me the second time, I remember I was really, really upset, angry. It was like it was really negative emotions,
Mm.
and
Sometimes it comes in the dreams. Sometimes it comes in a dream where you think you're in a scenario that's very and you're screaming for help, but
yes, this
there's
is
no
it.
voice. There's no voice
Yeah,
coming out.
I don't know what we call the oh
What
god, the
what
paralysis.
yeah, while you're screaming suddenly and there's nothing coming out. Like as though the box is paralyzed, or really I don't know, that there's a kind of membrane in front that help that impedes it from coming out. You see the sound
Yeah, it's the
coming
sleep
out.
paralysis or something like that. Paralysis,
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah, yeah. You keep screaming, shouting, and
Yeah.
asking for help when no one is
Nobody can
no
hear
one
it.
is there. No, no one. No. Yeah.
Yeah, I think in my dream maybe it came one or two twice like that. Yeah, it's strange. Nobody's sharing anything. Okay. And then you're up there, you wake up and then you ask, what happened?
I'm okay. I have my voice.
But the situation is very traumatic, huh?
It is, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and that's when the voice just blocks in you. There's no sound coming out.
Um, um,
You just get
it's
rogue first, while you're screaming like that, and then you get just rogue, and then after that, no more, no more voice, no more sound coming out.
so it happens to you then.
In maybe in the dream once or twice, maybe
Mm.
dream.
Um, that's why it's um, when we it it's important to cut. I mean to delete all the the contract when we wake up.
Yes,
Hmm.
but if you're not conscious, you come with it.
As soon as we wake up, we have to put our attention
Mm-hmm.
to delete all the contract and the you know.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Good. So I think we're done, huh?
Mm. It's
Yeah.
just like a mutant, like
Mute.
mute. Yeah, you mute
Yes,
your
mute.
voice. Chum.
But
Yeah,
you mute your voice. They mute your voice.
yeah.
Emotions.
Mm-hmm.
They are not the one who are not released.
But I can say that when you are conscious about it, it's easy to handle it. But when you're unconscious and you don't even know what really triggers it, and that's difficult to get treated.
Mm. Well, maybe sometimes even if you are conscious, it happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
Mm. Strange.
Strange, strange, strange. All right. Thank you, Emma. So, ready to come back?
Yeah.
Thank you for all these affirmations. Really uh,
Mm.
precious. Maybe it will help others to be conscious.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, so I'll see you on the other side, yeah?